absolutely beautiful astrology soulmates, and welcome to your weekly horoscope for the week of April 10th, where it's interesting this week. I feel like there's a lot of dynamic energy that we can work with in terms of being social. Venus is transiting the energy of Gemini. So the way we're connecting, the way we're attracting things to us really has a conversational and networking, social kind of vibration. And I think that that's actually very useful this week, because there are some things we're going to have to push through, especially towards the end of the week, that I think we kind of got to push through and get done. And that's very much so a signature of Mars also being in the energy of Cancer. So we do have some things we need to get done this week, but I think it's a pretty dynamic week with Venus being in such a social sign. That's actually really good for us. All right, before we jump in and talk about what's going on this week, let's get the business out of the way. First, we are in our last few weeks of you grabbing your Astrology 101 and 102 courses from me for $25. They will be on sale until May, so click in the description box down below. They are self-paced, so you do it as you need to. Listen, I am packing a whole house and a whole family and moving to a whole other country, so I understand you might not have time to sit down and watch 12 hours of content. Do it at your pace, me and you learning together, but grab it on sale in the description box down below. Also, join me coming up in just a couple weeks via Zoom. You don't even have to travel. You can come via Zoom to my talk with the NCGR Florida group, where we're going to talk about astrology meets business, okay? So if you're building a business, you're an astro practitioner, you're a tarot practitioner, I don't care, whatever it is, come and let me show you how to build businesses. I will tell you what, I'm not great at everything, but I am good with my Capricorn South Node at building successful, profitable businesses. So come over, let's talk about that together. And as always, we've got the digital transit calendar for sale from our friends at Wise Skies Collectives. $17 off with my code, all in the description box down below. All right, beautiful friends, let's get on in here. Now, looking at Monday, first of all, again, I want to remind you that Venus is traveling through that energy of Gemini, so it is social. And remember, because Venus is an attracting energy, remember this, soulmates, it's an attracting energy. You don't need to hustle with Venus. You want to energetically call to you what you need. So in the energy of Venus, first of all, what you want, right? Or what you want to come to you, what you want to attract in, you could be indecisive about it. Gemini is a double sign. It's an air sign, so it's moving like this. So really, to the best of your ability, what I would tell you is don't fight so hard this week to focus in, I want this one thing, right? Instead, be with the options. You say, okay, I want to lose a couple pounds, right? Just an example. I want to lose a little bit of weight. Okay, so now call to you resources that are maybe about weight loss, but they may bring in networks or information to you that are a little bit different than just, you're going to run the 5K. Maybe it's Zumba. I do love Zumba. Oh, but Zumba's strong, so this is Zumba with weights, right? Allow that networking and kind of indecisive feature. Don't fight against it. Instead, I think work with it. And you may feel that really dynamic push and pull of being in an air energy, but talk it out. Gather the information, talk about things, right? And this is another thing that I think is really powerful with Venus being in Gemini, is that you can talk about things with people, and where it might have seemed like crazy to talk about it before, or you end up on a part of YouTube that you didn't even know existed, and you're like, wow, this is kind of opening my mind. I want to discuss about it. Venus softens and is very diplomatic, wants to bring a harmony, wants to bring a beauty. Also in Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury, we've got lots of communication stuff going on at this time. If you needed to negotiate a contract, or you need to negotiate a deal, or you're talking about buying or selling something, Venus can be particularly useful to help things go along a lot more smoothly. It can help you find points that you're like, yes, okay, I need to make an adjustment here, but we both agree that this is a good thing over here. So it's very good for that. So use that. Now, what we're also going to see is that same Venus energy is going to come into a really delicious trine with Pluto that is now in the energy of Aquarius. Okay. I want you paying attention to the things that are happening in the Aquarius vibration in your chart. Pluto is right here at 0 degrees. It's going to retrograde out when we get into June, and then we'll start the signature again in January. But I want you paying attention to everything that stimulates the 0 to 2 degree Aquarius areas of your chart, because it is giving you a hint of what is going to be on the table for you to work with for the next 21 years. So please be paying attention. Take some note. What is getting stimulated for you in this particular area, okay? Now, Venus coming into a trine, which creates a pocket of opportunity, right? But the opportunity is there, but you have to go to it. You have to take some action, or you do need to call it in. Venus, whatever it is, it's softening the opportunity for this to come to you, okay? And really, one of the things that I think with Venus in Gemini is that this is an opportunity, because it's an air trine, Pluto's in Aquarius, it's an opportunity to change your mind. It's an opportunity to change the direction of your thought process, of a conversation that you were having. It's an opportunity to gather new information that will take you into the next world that is developing. When we get to May 16th and Jupiter enters into the energy of Taurus, and it comes right into this square with Pluto that's in Aquarius, you guys, that's it. We shut the door. There's no going back. We enter into the realm of a new world, and going back is no longer an option. So as you think about that, and you think about genuinely this big shift and this big timeline jump that we're making in our history globally, not just in the United States, but globally, there's a lot of magnetism that this Venus-Pluto connection is bringing in, because it's like, okay, hold on. I can be more open-minded. I can be more open-hearted. I, in fact, need to open a bit in order to see how to participate in this world next. Financial opportunities, relationship opportunities become opportunities that are available here for you, and they are all about helping you move and maneuver through Pluto in Aquarius, this next, this next 20 years that we've got on the table. So pay attention who's coming around for you. Now, you're gonna see this energy again November 6th. So take note. Who showed up? What opportunities showed up? Where did you feel yourself expand and become more open, or your network changed, or you got information? Pluto, you found out information, right? Something was revealed to you that is like, well, that makes a lot of sense. No wonder, there's deception that's been here. There's a mistruth or a misbelief that's been happening, and now I can see it from a different position or a different viewpoint, okay? Now, that's a big day. That's a lot of energy. So as we're rolling into Tuesday, in the early morning time, we're going to see the moon be in void of course, okay? So it's going to be void of course before it enters into the energy of Capricorn. So in the void of course time, again, I want to remind you, rest, restore, review, rehydrate, whatever you need to go back over. That's really the best energy to work with when we're doing void of course energy. And so again, my mission this year is to remind you that there are more times to rest. There are more times to slow down in the midst of all of the energy, and to reorient yourself to your own energy. Come back to center. Come back. Have you had an off or a misaligned view of something that's going on in the day, or are you having to take action, especially as this moon's going to get into Capricorn? Are you having to just get some things done, kind of to the grindstone, but you're feeling out of alignment? Come back to center. Realign here. Because when you can realign here and fill your cup, then you'll have something to pour as you go out into the rest of the week, okay? All right, so later that day, and actually before the moon gets into Capricorn, we've got a cool moment. We've got a Jupiter cazimi. So what that means is it's together in an exact with the sun, okay? So the sun brings light, heat, life, and vitality as we're traveling here, right? You're motivated to move like this. And this is Aries energy. So we've got an Aries cazimi. It's like, ta-da, ready to do some stuff, but not just some stuff. Jupiter and the sun have been traveling through Aries energy. You have called something into your life. What is it? What have you initiated? What have you started? What is taking courage for you to move forward with, on, and be about? Where is it taking courage for you to stand in a new identity who's got those shoulders back, right? And is like, listen, I am willing to fight for this. I am willing to put in the effort to grow this, right? This is what this Aries energy has been about. But as it comes together with Jupiter, the great teacher, the great wisdom, the great benefic energy, I think that this is this place where I want you to remember that what you're doing, what you're focusing on, where you're building this identity, where you've got this out moving, this fire that's within you, what you focus on will grow. Okay. And I do not believe, yes, Jupiter is a benefic planet, but I don't believe that Jupiter's always bringing you the most fun ever. Jupiter brings wisdom and it brings an expansion of what is, right? So sometimes we have to gain wisdom through getting the experience, and sometimes getting the experience is a little rough. Sometimes getting the experience is that warrior, that Aries energy in the battle. I have got to take my courage and move it forward. This is also an energy, well, I will remind you that you cannot think yourself into a different position in life. You cannot think yourself into a different energetic space. There has to be an outflowing of an action. You act your way into different thinking. You act your way into different circumstances. Everything that you've got in your life, in your world right now, is a result of actions you did or you did not take courageously over this last 4 to 6 months. What is this for you? What is this for you that is expanding, that you're ready to let Jupiter take you on the road with this new identity and bring something beautiful into your life? Whatever that is, you'll get some help as the moon moves into the energy of Capricorn. So now, okay, the moon doesn't necessarily love being in Capricorn because it's a bit more reserved. But again, I feel like Tuesday is a day where you're like, I gotta just be about it, right? I've gotta just be about it. So we see that the energy drops down. The moon is grounded in the earthy energy of Capricorn. And you're like, what do I need to do to create stability for myself and in my life and in my insides and in my family and in the world around me? What is my long-term vision for myself? Even emotionally, where am I at with the vibration of finances, right? Because what's in your emotional vibration about money, about relationships, about management, about advancing, about your legacy, this is creating a vibration that is being a part of your world. So we have an opportunity to refocus. And I like this thing that I heard about this week. This lady was actually talking about rebuilding something else, and she was talking about sex magic, but then she also talked about earth magic. That how we treat the earth, the materials around us, our material plane, how we govern them can actually be medicine to our lives. And I love that. So I think that this is a great couple days to consider, where are you at, in your own earth magic? Where are you at in your earth magic? Tell me in the comment section down below. Okay, what do we got going on here next? Oh man, this is absolutely beautiful. We're going to come into, as we skip a couple days, we're going to get into Thursday, and we are going to see the energy come into last quarter. Okay, I really, really like this for us because, first of all, in the lunar cycle, right, what we have the opportunity to do is to turn away from what was. We can let it start to come down. Now, this last quarter energy is going to be happening at 23 degrees of Capricorn. So one of my first thoughts on this is that Capricorn is the rise, right? It wants the legacy. It wants to be the boss kind of energy. So this could be a time that, over this last month, over this last 4 months, where are you ready to accept your rise to recognition? Where are you feeling ready to step into a new role, a new title, a new being, a new vibration of maturity? The ruling energy of this last quarter energy is in, Saturn is in Pisces right now. So where are you feeling this call now where you're like, listen, I am ready. I am ready to stop talking about it. I'm ready to be about it. I'm ready to put action behind my vision. I'm ready to put vibration behind my vision, right? I'm ready to speak this in this earthy, delicious Capricorn energy. I'm ready to speak this and give it a name and give it a vibration and give it a place to come make a life in the material plane. We get to turn away from. You know what, you guys, this is something I've been thinking about. And let me know in the comment section down below if you find this too. As I continue to get older and I have these experiences where I take on these big commitments, building companies. My children are older now, so we're at a different parenting place. I've been married for a while now. Like doing these Saturnian things that require commitment, that require a natural turning away from people, places, and things that are not doing what I'm doing. It's like my my ability or my willingness to reprioritize people who are also going down the same road with me changes, right? Like I'm more interested in people who are doing a Saturnian thing, who are having the great discipline that comes with Saturn to bring something into their life, because it's like a maturing vibration. And I feel like that's what this last quarter energy is a little bit. It's like you're not liberated by just having to go out and take action, but it's literally the vibration of taking on a commitment and being about walking your talk that naturally kind of turns you away from the people, places, and things that aren't also demonstrating that level of discipline to get you moving in the direction of bringing that dream and that vision to a real reality. Jupiter being in Aries as well, Jupiter is a planet of faith, of belief, of trust, of what is the philosophy that governs my life. And with a new identity, you might be like, I can't, if I'm trying to be married, I can't be running with single people, because what are they doing? Are they talking about building marriages at brunch, right? If I'm trying to not drink and do drugs, I can't be running with people drinking and doing drugs, because are they talking about not drinking and doing drugs and staying sober and having a sober life? Whatever it is, it's like the natural vibration of commitment. At this last quarter, we're turning away from it. Now, one other thing excuse me, in terms of timing that I would love for you to think about is so go back into your life into 2020, June of 2020, okay? Go back to this Capricorn area of your chart, 23 degrees of Capricorn. In 2020, what did you start? Something was coming, a lot was happening in 2020, I am aware. I was here for it. But what was happening for you? You were starting something was beginning, you were starting to have this change. You were there was an obligation, maybe something was started there. Okay, so I'm going to go back to 2020 right there. But now come forward with me to 2021, come to June of 2021. This was a pivot. This would have been a turning point for something that began for you in June of 2020, but now you had a better hold on it. You had a better grasp of the vision of where you were going. And now, at this last quarter time, this thing is coming to fruition. It's showing up. It's right here at your doorstep. It is ready to be realized. What was that? Pattern track back. I'm really into that. Okay, let's get off of that. Let's move forward and see what else we've got here. Okay. So before the moon moves into the energy of Aquarius here on Thursday, we're going to have a nice void of course time. So rest, restore, get back in that, enjoy it. Now, it's not going to be until late afternoon that we see the moon get into the energy of Aquarius. So really take your time. Okay, shoulders back, wiggle it off. Work out, rest, rehydrate, get into a dark room if you need to, spend some time. Again, come back to center. You've seen a lot, you're realizing a lot. You guys, you have built a lot. I don't care what it is, whether you've built a business, whether you're out there building your body, you're building a family, you have built a lot since 2022, since the end of 2022. And I really hope that you'll use this void of course time to remember that and to recognize that and to get into that and take notice. Sometimes we don't realize how far we've come until we look back, right? Until we go, oh, okay, I really did like I did that thing. Okay? Now, the moon enters into Aquarius, like I said, later in the day. This is a great energy for the tribe, the friends, as my daughter says. So for you to connect with your friends, to connect with whoever's in your tribe. And again, remember, your vibration may be really being adjusted where you're like, I am moving away from a certain group. I'm moving away from a certain ideology. And I'm kind of naturally being welcomed because I've been being open-minded since the beginning of the week to trust the vibration, to take me to the squad that is mine, that is going to feed me and is going to allow me to feed them, right? Teamwork makes the dream work. That's really the vibration over this next couple days until we see the moon get into the energy of Pisces later, okay? But first, let's move to Friday because we've got Venus in a square to Saturn. All right. Venus over in Gemini, we've got Saturn here in the energy of Pisces. As these two come together, first of all, this is a mutable square. So one of the things that it can bring is anxiety. Okay, your anxiety could heighten. And if you already struggle with this or this is in your vibration, it could be higher. So it's a day that I want you to be mindful right away. What do you do to come to center to keep those anxiety levels lower? The other thing that you can do to make sure that you're not just feeling like you're having an out-of-body experience with anxiety or vibrations is take on less. Take on less. If you overcommit, and I don't care wherever this happens in your chart, whether it's a mental overcommitment, it's a physical overcommitment, it's an energetic overcommitment, right? This is Venus squaring against Saturn, saying, you know what? It might not be a genuine pleasure to be overworked anymore. There's no awards for being exhausted. There's no awards for taking on more than your energy can actually handle to the point that you make yourself sick. There's no awards for that. And here's a day that I think we're very much so reminded about that. So it's a great time because the square wants you to do something. You're going to have to take an action, right? You have to take an action. So one of the things I say is, first of all, put your head where your hands are. What can you finish? On Friday, what can you put your hands on that it's like, I can do this? Listen, I've got these 3 projects I need to do, and I'm going to take my sweet, beautiful time. I'm going to put on some jams, whatever the jams are for you, and I'm going to bring this to completion because I do need to do something, but I'm also not going to push myself to get all 3 of these projects done. Maybe I'm going to put on a little Luther, a little Al, a little NSYNC, depending on your generation, and I am going to finish these taxes. Or I'm going to put on a little something and take a bath, like the kind of bath where I shave all the things. You know what I'm talking about, okay? You shave, like you do that shower. Maybe it's that, or it's the laundry, whatever it is. Just take it easy. It's a great way to reduce the anxiety that is naturally going to be floating in the air at this particular time, okay? Now, one of the other thoughts that I had about that Saturn, though, is that it's also a practice for you at this time. It's like to practice your practice, right? Like, what is your routine in your life around self-care, around using your energy well, realizing that energy is a valuable resource as well, and how do you use that? Because we've also got Saturn in a trine here to the south node, in a sextile to the north node. So it really is by whatever decisions and however you conduct yourself under these particular aspects, you're really setting yourself up for the next chapter of your life and how you'll behave and how you'll move and where, Saturn is about limitations. Where are you getting comfortable with saying, no, I can only do this one thing, or I can only do this thing over here. I can't take on everything, right? This is really an indicator, I think, of that energy. Now later, much later, we're going to see the moon gets into the energy of Pisces. And I do love this because we're going to have this vibration for several days, okay? And first of all, it's like surrender. It's the emotional surrender. And I think this is very good after everything we need to take on this week and the way we need to focus and we need to adjust. But this emotional surrender is like, okay, I forgive myself for the crazy that I put myself through. I forgive myself for, I forgive myself for thinking I need to forgive myself, right? I'm a human being just learning lessons. I'm learning how to move in my energy. I'm learning the subtleties of how I sabotage myself. I'm learning that it's okay for me to ignite my creativity and that is acceptable in the world. I am learning it's okay to need a nap. I'm learning deep empathy for the people around me, and it's bringing humility to my own heart because I realize humans get tired. This is a rough journey. I realize that with all the hurt in the world, from the water to the plants to the animals, I can't save everybody, but I can send an outpouring of generosity and humility and love because I'm taking care of myself, and my cup is so full here first that this is where I understand I have something to give. And I forgive myself for when I tried to pour into my world from an empty cup, right? But also I think that this is a great place to let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. I'm not even trying to be Elsa right now. That is so funny. But let things go today. Where can you give forgiveness? Between now and Monday, where do you have forgiveness to offer? Because you know what? Maybe you forgive someone for an apology you never got, or maybe you forgive someone for falling short of your expectations, but you learned that they were just a human being, just like you are. And maybe it changes nobody else's life but your own, right? Where is this little grain of sand on the beach that maybe nobody else on the beach ever even knows is there, but you do? And you get a piece of freedom, you get transcendence, you get release from it. So this is a big thing to consider as we're traveling throughout this weekend. Now, we're going to get into some void, of course, throughout the rest of the weekend as well. So I would encourage you, Saturday, Sunday, rest, let it all come down, right? Because even though Pisces is a surrender moon, is a forgiveness moon, it is active. It is an active moon. Okay, so until we void, of course, remember you're still very active in that. So Saturday and Sunday, I would invite you very much so to take big, beautiful rests here. I also think too, if you need to practice humility, if you owe someone an amends between Friday and Sunday, if you owe an amends, if you owe an apology, right? Because sitting deeply with a moon in Pisces will show you where it's like, man, it wipes your ego out. It's like, I was trying to win that. I was trying to get something there. If you need to make that amends, I think that this is a wonderful energy before we get to this moon in Aries and we start out the next week on fire, that this is a great energy to be able to move with that. So my beautiful friends, I hope you have a gorgeous week. Please let me know in the comment section down below. What are your experiences with what I've said this week? How's it playing out for you? Let me know in the comment section down below. Look forward to seeing you in the classes. Look forward to seeing you on the internet. And look forward to some more short videos. We're going to do some more shorts, have some fun. Try and laugh a little around this channel. So look forward to that coming as well. Beautiful soulmates, have a great week. Bye.